So today we got a question from Warrior Fit, who was recently rolling with a brand new guy in his gym, and he says that when he's rolling with this brand new guy, he could have smashed him like over and over again, but he didn't. He was trying to be nice to the guy, help him out a little bit, let him work a little bit, and he thought everything was cool. He thought that that was sort of, it was clear as day that he was letting the guy work. Well, after the roll was over, this new guy gets up, and I don't know if he was talking to someone on the other side of the mat or something, but gets up and starts bragging about the fact that he wasn't submitted, that, oh, this guy couldn't beat me, and I was able to do this on him, and was kind of bragging about the whole situation. Warrior Fit then was pretty pissed about it. He was like, dude, I thought it was clear as day that I was letting you work, and, you know, he was pretty frustrated about the situation. And he says that afterwards, you know, this is kind of his question to me, you know, when you roll with new guys, do you just smash them every time they come in the gym? Like a new guy comes in, do you just like pound them into the mat? Or, you know, do you have some advice, some experience that would be helpful to me in the situation? So Warrior Fit, thank you so much for the question, brother. And in the situation, I've got some stories. I've got a lot of stories about this, and I'll share one with you today. But I'll also share the protocol that I use with situations like this and that I advise my coaches to. But before I get into that, let me share two things. One is that I relate to the new guy. I remember when I first got into jiu-jitsu, I thought training, because I was super competitive, I thought training was zero sum, meaning you either win and that means that you did good, or you lose and anything else is bad, right? There's no in between, it's zero sum. You either won or you lost. And it wasn't until rolling with my coaches where they could literally smash me over and over and over again. And I felt that, but then I also felt that they would sometimes ease up on me and let me play a little bit, that then I kind of understood, like, oh, like we don't have to smash each other every single time. And there's a lot to be gained, whether it be a win, a loss, or just somewhere in between. And it helped me also to, you know, turn down my gears a little bit sometimes when I rolled with new guys, because then I was like, well, my coach takes it easy on me sometimes, maybe I'll take it easy on these guys too. So again, that was really helpful to me. Now, in this situation also, if I was in that situation that you were talking about, I probably would have assumed that I had, you know, beaten you or that I was doing really well against you. And here's the thing, I wouldn't have talked about it though. And that's one thing I really want to share before I get into the video. Guys, don't talk about rolling with someone and beating them. Like, don't roll and tell, don't roll and talk. Like, if you win and you submit someone, good. Help them up, continue to roll. Because again, we're all going to submit each other throughout the years, and you don't want to become that person that's known as the talker. Because if that becomes the case, what's going to happen is if you and I are getting ready to roll, and I know you're the guy that talks, I'm going to come at you so much harder because I know that you're the guy that talks about it, and then it can no longer have that friendly sort of feel to it. So just rant over. Getting into it, one of the times that this happened with us at our gym was back, it was probably like 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago. I can't remember quite yet, but it was a long time ago. But I was a black belt at the time, and I had a group full of, you know, blues and purples and everything else. And we had this white belt that was training with us, competitive white belt, newer guy. He'd been training with us for about 2 months at the time. And when he was training, like, you know, again, he's relatively new. He's coming into a pretty tough room most of the time where it's a lot of higher belts. We know we could submit him, but we would also take it easy on him a lot. And one day, my purple belt comes in on a Friday afternoon, and he's pissed, he's frustrated. And I'm like, dude, what are you upset about? And he like pulls up his phone, and he shows me this blog post from this white belt, where this blog post was talking about how the gym that he was training at, our gym, was, you know, the training wasn't very good, or, you know, that he was able to hang with the higher belts, and that he needed to go cross-train because he needed to expand his game because the higher belts couldn't even put it on him anymore. And so he's kind of this whole blog article about that. And so that night, he was there at class, and we had a bunch of the higher belts, and I told everybody, I was like, hey, listen, you know, again, not to be a bully or anything, but you guys can submit him if you want to. Go submit him as many times as you want to. So all the higher belts, including myself, we all submitted him. Like, he probably got submitted 100 times that day. And afterwards, he was sitting on the mat, just like exhausted and just like looking off, like almost dumbfounded, like, what the hell just happened? And I sat down with him and I told him, I was like, look, man, like, we like you, you're competitive, you're a good guy, you're a nice dude. This is what training can be like. This is the reality of the situation, if you want it to be. But we like you and we would like to make you better, so that's why we take it easy on you. Kind of, there's the difference. We gave him kind of the contrast of the two. And afterwards he understood, and he was much more appreciative of the fact that the higher belts were taking it easy on him because he felt the other side of it, where this is what it can be like. And so that's why in our gym, we have a thing called the Rich Rule. The Rich Rule was created by one of my black belts, Rich. And basically this rule sort of dictates that if you get someone in that sort of situation where they're ultra competitive and they're like, you know, that kind of thing, then what you do is you submit them 3 times really fast. This doesn't mean be a bully. This doesn't mean hurt anybody or anything like that, because I know I'll get like some flack for people saying, you're being mean, you're being a mat bully, Chewy, you got a big ego. We all have egos in competitions related sports, but it's about having a healthy one. But basically, you submit the person 3 times. Then you ease up off the gas pedal and you just play a little bit. Now, you're doing this not to be a bully or to be mean anything, but what you're doing is you're showing the person, here's the reality, and here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play with you and work with you so this way you can get better. And what's so powerful about doing that is that then, just like me, it helped me to do that. Because then once I realized that my coach wasn't submitting me all the time, it made me realize like, oh, well, maybe I'll do this for the new guys too. You basically, from the top down, the leadership, right? The people that are coming in, they will follow whatever the people up there are doing. And if they realize that that's kind of the way we play, okay, we can submit people, but we also play, then they will follow and do the same. And so it creates a much better environment long term, because then they can say, okay, like, I can't submit you, but I'm not going to kill you every time. And so what I would do in that situation, brother, is probably do the same thing. Maybe catch the guy in 3 submissions really quickly, let him know that, hey, man, I can't submit you if I want to, but then you go back to playing with them and helping them out. And so this way they have contrast and they can see the reality of the situation. I needed it as a white belt. Most people do. And again, I think that it'll help create a good, positive environment long term where you don't have bullies, because people understand the reality of the situation. And again, in that situation, I think it's really helpful. So, brother, thank you for the question. I think that's it. I probably could ramble on. I got a lot of stories where guys, mistook me playing around as that I couldn't submit them. But anyway, we're finished for today. So, Warrior Fit, thanks so much for the question, brother, and I'll talk to you guys next time.